I'm Chris Lawrence in Dallas with your headlines from North Texas. A deadly stabbing at a high school track meet in Frisco gained national attention. And with Carmelo Anthony's indictment, the stage is set for a high-profile murder trial. Tobin Punniker looks at the legal strategy, including a claim of self-defense.
This is the murder indictment for Carmelo Anthony, accused in the stabbing death of Austin Metcalf at a Frisco ISD track meet. With it comes a long list of questions and narratives as we move to trial.
Explain your self-defense.
First is whether Carmelo acted in self-defense.
Texas has probably the strongest self-defense laws of any state in the country.
Todd Shapiro is a longtime defense attorney. He is not a party in this case. He tells us if and when the defense brings up self-defense,
It's wordy.
the burden is on the state or prosecution to disprove it.
First of all, are you justified in the defense? Secondly, is the threat imminent, and is it necessary to combat potentially deadly force being used against you?
On Wednesday, the case was assigned to the 296th District Court, Judge John Roach. These cases are not assigned to courts by choice, but next in line.
The next one up is the next one up. So no one in the district clerk's office or the DA's office or the defense attorney has any say on which court the case falls into.
Judges can recuse themselves. That has not happened. This is significant because the judge who heard Carmelo's bond hearing was subject to death threats and needed security.
I'm very pleased the case ended up in his court. He's compassionate when he needs to be, and he's tough when he needs to be, and he runs a great courtroom.
This case has become polarizing. It's become racial, and outside agitators have introduced mis- and disinformation.
You've got to shrink that circle and say we're not listening to any of the outside noise, none of the press. It's tough.
There will be more developments, more hearings, motions before the trial ever starts. Plea deals avoiding trial altogether are also possible.
Carmelo Anthony, class of 2025.
But what is inevitable is emotion, and there's been plenty of that. In Collin County, I'm Tobin Punniker.
Postal workers are grieving a colleague who collapsed in Dallas while delivering mail. And it comes nearly 2 years to the day another postal worker died on the job. Here's Richard Solomon with what we've learned.
Working for the U.S. Postal Service is often a lifelong commitment, and 51-year-old Jacob Taylor spent the last 28 years as a letter carrier.
Sad.
That's why this is so hard for her.
Disbelief. I can't understand how.
Kamitra Lewis, the branch president of the National Association of Letter Carriers in Dallas, says Jacob died while working his routes on Saturday.
That's what's so devastating is because when he left home, no one ever thought this was happening.
Dallas Fire Rescue got a call around 4:30 in the afternoon about a man unconscious in the 2500 block of Medical District Drive. We're told they tried to give him CPR, but he died at the hospital. Temperatures were in the 90s that day.
It's shocking. It's really shocking and sad to hear.
Sean Kelly lives in the neighborhood where it happened.
Maybe they're working too hard out in the sun. We don't always think about how we get our mail, who's delivering it.
Was this a heat-related death?
We're not sure. But what I am sure of, it was hot. It was hot that day.
Lewis did tell me his truck had working AC. Jacob's death, almost 2 years to the day, after Dallas USPS letter carrier Eugene Gates collapsed and died delivering mail on his routes in Lakewood.
Normally when something happens or something tragic, it doesn't repeat itself. But this time it did.
Lewis says Taylor's family is having an autopsy done to figure out why he died. And she prays no more tragedies like this happen. In Dallas, I'm Richard Solomon.
The Justice Department has officially ended its investigation into Epic City, a proposed Muslim-centric community in Collin County. Epic stands for the East Plano Islamic Center, but the developer says while it does include a mosque, all of the homes, shops, and other amenities would be open to anyone. Despite no permits ever being filed, several Texas lawmakers spoke out against it. Senator John Cornyn wrote a letter to Attorney General Pam Bondi saying he's worried Epic City will discriminate against other religions and impose Sharia law. But the government never filed any charges, and DOJ quietly closed its inquiry weeks ago with no explanation why. We've reached out to Senator Cornyn and the developers, and we'll update you as soon as we hear back. We're also getting our first look at a new fire rescue apparatus that could save lives at DFW Airport. The Stryker Volterra is the airport's first hybrid rescue firefighting vehicle. It uses both diesel and electricity. In electric mode, the Volterra produces zero emissions. It reduces firefighters' exposure to exhaust fumes. Officials say it cuts down on PFAS chemicals found in firefighting foam and allows them to respond to emergencies faster.
What we saw first was a performance advantage with just unit offers. When you combine the diesel and the electric, it accelerates at least 12 seconds faster, 0 to 50, than our current units. It's easier to function when seconds count and when it's needed for an emergency.
Fort Worth is scheduled to launch its new emergency services program next week, and Tiffany Liu just spoke with first responders to hear how the partnership will make the city safer.
Make no mistake, we are ready for July 1.
In just under 1 week, the ambulance service that served Fort Worth for nearly 40 years will be gone.
Change is work, and work is hard.
Fort Worth Fire Chief Jim Davis says his department is ready to take on the calls. It's a big move for emergency services, and with any change, there are unknowns.
So initially when we heard about the transition, there was a lot of apprehension.
Sean Curtis has been with MedStar for 24 years.
Are they going to be well taken care of? Are their salaries going to be okay? What is the workload going to be?
His worries early on have come and gone.
I feel really good about it.
According to the city, more than 600 MedStar employees, which accounts for 98% of the team, decided to join the Fort Worth Fire Department. The salary is improving. They'll have a pension, too.
The Fort Worth Fire Department will be providing all EMS and fire services.
Mike Drivdahl is with the Fort Worth Professional Firefighters Association. He has seen the increase in calls over his 18 years here.
Our busy companies, 5,000 or 5,500 calls a year.
In the last month, MedStar and Fort Worth Fire combined dispatch teams.
We are already seeing the benefits.
This streamlines calls.
911, what's the address of the emergency?
And it means residents will notice.
Send in the paramedics to help you.
Faster response times.
By up to 5.5 minutes.
With familiar faces.
They'll see newly logoed ambulances showing up. They'll see new uniforms on the crews, but it's the same crews that have been servicing this community since 1986.
Fort Worth continues to grow.
In 1995, the city of Fort Worth had 470,000 people, and now we're north of 1 million.
But Mayor Maddie Parker says this goes beyond her city. 14 surrounding cities are part of the plan, too.
Help is on the way.
It's a marriage bound to save lives.
Those seconds matter to those folks.
In Fort Worth, I'm Tiffany Liu.
Yeah, in their line of work, every second matters. And those are your headlines from North Texas.